What's up, guys? Inazilla back again today with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 best dragon Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Right now we are in the Isle of Armor. The Crown Tundra hasn't come out yet. We do know that Garchomp will be coming out in that DLC, but we don't know about other ones such as Dragonite, Salamence, so this list may change by the time that Crown Tundra comes out. Anyways, this is the list for now. Before I begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It helps you stay connected to my channel, keep updated on my latest content, and it helps me as well, so why not just hit that button. Thank you. First up, we got FLAPPLE. We don't have much of a choice for dragon Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield. We have 400 Pokemon in the main decks, and we have another 100 or so in the Isle of Armor decks. So we got 500-ish Pokemon to choose from. Not a lot of powerful dragons, but that's okay. We can make do with what we have. FLAPPLE is an interesting Pokemon. It lands in the number 10 spot because I'll just explain it. It's got low speed, but it can Dragon Dance and has access to Ripen. Right, what Ripen does is it doubles the effect of berries that you have on it. So you can give it a Lychee berry or a Salac berry, and you can spam substitutes and keep going till you get your +2 attack or +2 speed. Combine that with Dragon Dance, you can turn it into a pretty good sweeper. It also has access to Hustle, but I think that Dragapult and Durant are probably better for that. Next up, number 2, kommo-o. Kommo-o has 3 awesome abilities in Soundproof, Bulletproof, and Overcoat. Soundproof allows it to set up a sub and not have to worry about sound moves bypassing the sub. I'm looking at you, Sylveon. Bulletproof makes it so that it can't get hit by ball or bomb moves like Shadow Ball or Sludge Bomb. Overcoat makes it so it's immune to powder moves and by damaging weather like sand. It can Dragon Dance, it can do the Iron Defense Body Press set, it can Belly Drum, or even use Clangor Soul, which boosts all stats by 1 stage, but removes 33% of your health. It can Airstream when Dynamaxed, Max Knuckle, and has plenty of other good coverage. It can be ran special or physical or mixed, especially with Clangor Soul. So why is it so low on this list? Its very middling speed stat means that it can't outright outspeed things that it wants to, and it's too fast for Trick Room. It needs to set up Dragon Dance or Clangor Soul to have any firepower, and it's super weak to Fairy. Running Clangor Soul also removes any usability of a Focus Sash, so there's no guaranteed survives against Fairy moves while you're trying to set up. Having a weakness to Airstream is also not just begging to get KO'd while your opponent's setting up on you at the same time. Next up, number 3, DRAGALGE. This thing has potential to be another doubles Rhyperior. We all know what doubles Rhyperior does. It's a Trick Room beast. It usually has a Trick Room Dusclops beside it. Dusclops sets up the Trick Room while Rhyperior protects. Then the Dusclops uses Bulldoze, procs Rhyperior's weakness policy, breaks any Focus Sashes on the other side, slows Rhyperior down even more so it can just smash the crap out of everything. I feel DRAGALGE can do the same thing but with different coverage. Rhyperior has the defensive advantage in having Solid Rock as an ability to reduce the power of opposing super effective moves, but DRAGALGE gets adaptability and that makes stab moves 50% more powerful, so hits with Poison and Dragon moves ultra hard. A +2 max Wormwind dropping opposing Pokemon's attack stats, or Ooze boosting your own special attack stat even further, is just way too much power. The only issue with it is it relies on Trick Room to work, and you're not going to get that every single battle. You'll get shut down sometimes. Next up we got KINGDRA. Number 4. KINGDRA gets access to 2 awesome abilities. One of them gets totally outclassed by Inteleon, so just use Inteleon. Sniper, yeah. Okay. KINGDRA can spam Draco Meteor and crit every time because of Sniper, but it's kinda slow. The other is Swift Swim, and it's arguably the best Swift Swimmer in the game. Its stats don't look impressive at all, but don't let that fool you. In the rain, its water moves do 50% more damage on top of the Life Orb you probably have equipped. It'll still hurt things pretty good even after a special attack drop after using Draco Meteor. It can Flash Cannon, which will give you a defense boost if you use it Dynamax. It even gets Clear Smog as an egg move, so you could tech that onto it as a stat gainer mover, or use it as Max Ooze if you choose to Dynamax it and get special attack boosts. The only issue with KINGDRA is it relies on rain. Without rain, it suffers the same speed issues as kommo-o. Number 5. HAXORUS. Would you look at that attack stat? Holy crap, 147. Its base 97 speed isn't so bad either. It gets Mold Breaker so it can bypass Substitute. I mean, it can't bypass Substitute. It can bypass Disguise, Ice Face, and even Levitate. So why isn't it the absolute best dragon in the game? If it had Fire Punch or even a decent flying move for max Airstream, it totally would be. But Gen 8 was even nicer and gave it access to close combat, so that helped it a lot. It can use Poison Jab or Iron Tail to deal with fairies, but it sometimes needs Swords Dance to KO those. One Dragon Dance usually won't be enough, and without Dragon Dance you're vulnerable to faster threats. Besides a lack of perfect coverage, which most awesome Pokemon suffer from, its main downfall is its bulk. It can't survive super effective attacks, especially from Togekiss. You Iron Head it, your Pocket's weakness policy, GG, you lose. Next up, HYDREIGON. HYDREIGON may seem underwhelming at first, but beware. Sub Nasty Plot will ruin your day. It can taunt your tanks and walls, set up a sub that you can't break, which forces you to either try to break the sub or switch while it sets up a Nasty Plot, and then it beats you down. It's also really good at running specs and scarf sets. Its awkward speed stat and double weakness to fairy isn't helping it very much though, and that's why it's not higher up on the list. Number 7. Duraludon. The further we get down this list, the more reliable and consistent the Pokemon seem to get. Duraludon is okay in singles. It can utilize Light Metal to be more resistant to Low Kick, but Low Kick is a bad move that nobody uses. It can use Heavy Metal to make Heavy Slam more powerful, but it's way better at being a special attacker. So why is it so high up on the list? Excuse me. So run it that way, I guess, with Light Metal in singles. But where it truly shines is doubles, where Redirection is a huge playstyle. Follow Me and Ally Switch are everywhere, and Duraludon just ignores it with its Stalwart ability, which is great because most of the time it can hit a target at once with a super good effective move. It can use Thunderbolt, Solar Beam for max overgrowth, Flash Cannon, or Steel Beam if you're really ballsy, and of course Draco Meteor or Dragon Pulse. It just lacks in a special defense department. Solid number 4 pick. Next up, Dracozolt. We mentioned it earlier when we were talking about Flapple. Choice Scarf Boltbeak. Boltbeak is double power when it goes first. Ouch. This thing can Dynamax and then Airstream you, or hit you with super powerful coverage moves all while being boosted by Hustle without the awful chance to miss, if you're Dynamaxed. It can be ran with Volt Absorb too, so it can come in and absorb an electric attack. Volt Absorb just leaves a lot to be desired because it doesn't hit nearly as hard as a Hustle Dracozolt. It's up to you which ability you want to run though. If you run Hustle, you're playing a risky game and you're giving yourself a chance to miss an attack you might really need to hit, but you're hitting with such power that it can be worth it. Dynamax removes your Choice Scarf, if that's what you're running, so you become slow, like base 75 slow, and you might have to rely on max Airstream to get fast again, when you probably want to be spamming max Lightning. All in all though, Dragazolt is a really good Pokemon. Number 9 is Dracovish. This guy is pretty much the same thing but with water coverage instead of electric. Vicious Rent has double power when it goes first, so slap a Choice Scarf on it and spam spam spam. Or run in the Trick Room and slap a Life Orb or Choice Band on it and spam spam spam. Just be wary of Water Absorb and Storm Drain. It's in a weird speed tier just like Dracozolt, and running it in Trick Room isn't the most reliable. Base 75 speed will allow slower things to go first in Trick Room, and under normal conditions it'll still get outsped by mega fast things like Dragapult. It's just that the raw power this thing has is why it's so high up on the list. Give yourself a teammate that can handle water types and you'll be good. It also OHKOs Dragapult with Vicious Rend if banded under Trick Room. Or at least it did for me, and that's a resisted hit. I don't know if that Dragapult had a minus defense nature or something though. It gets 2 nice abilities in Strong Jaw, which boosts the power of Crunch and Vicious Rend, which just makes it even more OP. Water Absorb makes it immune to water attacks, making a good switch in when you're predicting a water move. Number 10. I bet you all know what I'm talking about here. Dragapult. Arguably the most diverse, unpredictable Pokemon in the game. I like Felicify, but he's wrong about Dragapult. This thing can Dragon Dance and sweep with pretty good coverage. It can spam special moves, although somewhat weak coming off base 100 special attack. It can spam physical moves. It is one of those rare Pokemon that can reliably be ran mixed. It can sub-disable, Will-O-Wisp Hex, and be used just for fast reliable screens. In doubles, it can smash things with a weakness policy set. Probably the best weakness policy user in doubles that's not in Trick Room. It'll outspeed a lot of Pokemon even with the Tailwind on their side if you airstreamed. Dragon Darts will hit both Pokemon to do good damage, and even break Focus Sashes and Sturdy. It can be a good utility doubles Pokemon too with Surf to proc weakness policy on its teammates like Cinderace or Colossal. It can set up all sorts of weather with max moves for weather control. It's the fastest Pokemon in the game. It can be ran bulky in doubles to take hits from opposing Dragapults and then OHKO them. It also has access to two beautiful abilities, being Infiltrator, which is better for singles as it allows it to bypass substitutes, and Clear Body, which is really good in doubles because it isn't affected by stat drops from opposing Pokemon. There's just not enough words I can say to describe how good Dragapult is, and that's why it's the best dragon Pokemon in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Well, that's it, guys. Thanks for listening. I guess if I have any honorable mentions, they'd be Appleton and Noivern. Appleton's just really slow, and it's super weak to like ice, and it'll get OHKO'd by things before it even gets to set up like stockpiles and stuff, so it didn't make the list. And Noivern, which Noivern's a good Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but it's not really that good in doubles, and in singles it's pretty much just Dragapult Jr. with Infiltrator, so yeah, Noivern was good, but Dragapult kind of took over, and Dragapult does other things better than it. So yeah. Anyways, thanks guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.